beautiful day, and we are currently moving from one site to another. I had realized that we didn't put together a video on how we load and unload our truck camper, so hopefully this might help you. There's no difference here between a regular truck and a flatbed. You're just lifting the camper up in order to fit underneath the truck. I guess the one difference is we have to go up higher, so we do tend to use the blocks underneath just to give us an extra little bit of oomph. That also helps when the area is not 100% flat. It gives us a little bit of oh crap factor. All right, so typically on ours, we end up having to increase the height of this to about 22 inches-ish. Gary's really good at backing this thing up, but I kind of sit here and just make sure that he's aligned well. As you can see, he is very close to that white line, which is where we want the camper to be, and it's really pretty much straight, so I don't have to do much. He makes things so much easier to do. All right, come on back. So we've got alignment brackets here in the back and the ones in the front. I will make sure that this is pretty close on the driver's side since that's the easiest place to see. So we will lift this up. Obviously I'm too low at this point on this side, so I will be lifting up the camper a little higher to get around that. But we are directionally correct, so we're in pretty good shape there. I'm gonna go ahead and lift this. And now you can kind of see that I'm above that. I'm gonna have to probably raise it up once we get a little bit closer, but we're in good shape there. The biggest thing here is go slow and steady. Gary and I communicate pretty well with this, and that's essential. A lot of times we'll have our phones, but sometimes we just kind of yell at each other. All right, you're looking good. And I'll look under here. Okay, stop for a second. I'm not going to have any problems with passing that. Oh, one side note, I never go underneath this thing when I'm raising it. That's just a little bit of a paranoia thing for me. All right, come on back. Just go slow. You might be asking, well, why don't you just raise the camper above those blocks and then just back it up real quick? And the answer is yes, you can absolutely do that. We have found, though, that the higher you go, the less reference that you have to the camper. So it's easier to become more angled or more offset from those blocks. Ultimately, you're going to have to figure out what works best for you. I'm going to have you do a little driver now. Okay, and stop for a second. So we are in really good shape here. We are still aligned well with this. The nice thing about these is it will slide down if I'm a little bit off. Okay, hold on, let me check. So we'll do one last check before we kind of hit there. It does look like I'm a little bit, I might need to have him do a little driver. Just a smidge, although again, it's not enough to where there's any real issues. So yeah, I'm gonna have him do a little bit of driver. Oh, and the reason I'm saying that is if you look hit this way, you can see I'm okay on the front. I have a little bit more here than I do in the front, so I need him to do driver. And that should be good enough. Then go straight. I have a little step stool here that helps me see over the top. Hold on for a minute. Hey, hold on, Gary. Car wash cleaner is all over now. Yeah. All right, back it up. And again, I'm looking to where he's getting kind of close. Tap. Tap. And now he's still going to stay in gear, but I'm going to lower this a little bit so I can get a better idea of what I need to modify. So I'm pressing the lower all button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around. You can see I'm going to hit that one pretty quick. I've got ample room here, which means I probably overcompensated, like I always do. For some reason, I always seem to get too close on that side. I don't know. I think I'll probably lower the right-hand side first before I do that, because there's a bit more of a gap on the right side, or the passenger side, than the driver. So that's one nice thing about this, is I can kind of teeter-totter it a little bit. But in order to do that, I need to get him spot on in the front. So I am trying, you can kind of see where the camper lays before, so I'm going to have him back up to that point. So I want you to tap back, tap, stop. Put it in neutral. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the right side first. So I'm going to use these two buttons here just to lower this side only. And you can see as I'm doing that, it's lowering it much closer to this side, and then adding some more space on the other side, which really gives you some flexibility there. So I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to do it from this side here. I'm going to lower this a little bit, and you can see how this lowers when I'm lowering just the right side only. So you can see it's kind of pulling itself over. I think that's enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go lower all. And you can tell as I'm getting lower, it's just hitting that bottom. Again, I'm making sure that I'm kind of on line with what I had there. And making sure all four corners are nicely down. Everything looks really good. So we're done. Okay, we're good. So we're planning on going to dump our tanks and set up at another campsite. So we'll show you how we unload this as well. And it's typical for all campers. There's always going to be something a little bit wrong periodically that you just kind of live with. And ours is this Rico Titan. This is just bent the tiniest bit to where I can't easily maneuver this without my handy little hammer here. Again, nothing that big of a deal, but if you think your camper is going to be perfect, I think you might need to do something else besides camping in an RV. You're done with the stabs, always turn that off. Okay.
You walk around the slides you're on.
Yes. Done dumping it. Now we're going to find a new camp spot and unload. All right, we are at our new campsite. When we're staying for a day or so, the levelness of a site really isn't that big of a deal. But since we're going to be here for a couple of weeks, that levelness does make a difference. We end up using level indicators on the back and one on the side. For this site, we are really good left to right. We're nose down here. Usually a couple 3 degrees is not that big of a deal. It's easy to make up when you're removing it. Oh yeah. We've been lucky to not have any issues, but we usually will try to verify the electric before unturtling, because that could be a total pain. First thing are these stab legs. Can I reach it? Oh, there we go. Since we're staying here a couple of weeks, it does make it a little easier. We didn't have to pack and unpack everything. We're going to take the camper off, and then we're gonna go back to the previous site and pick all the rest of the junk up. All right, so we can see this back leg here. Definitely not very level on those blocks, so we're gonna have to dig this out a little bit. So, and here we're just going to lower the legs until we get close, and then we'll kind of readjust as needed. So I think we're not too bad. So I'm going to lift it. So I'm already hitting there. And this one, front one, I'm going to just get that one down, which is good.
Hit that button.
Yep, I'm doing that. So far, we're looking okay.
Oh, the cables are good.
Yep. All your yeah. Oh, by the way, that's Gary's job, and he does an excellent job. So what I'm doing is I got it just so where it was off the truck bed. Then, because we know we're really nose down, I'm going to try to pull that up a bit to get ourselves a little bit more level. Still not quite there, but I think that will be enough, at least to get out. Okay, I think we're good to go. And we're just going to watch a little bit. Stop. Yeah. Okay. Wow, you're going really fast. Slow down. Okay. I forgot you're on a hill, so I'll give you that. Stop. Okay. Clear. Clear. And since I had to get up to 24 inches, I do not like to get up to 24 inches, but sometimes it happens. So I'll try to get it down as far as possible before I start modifying leveling on that. Just because I'm not really pro stilty. But this is where we end up putting on the stable camper part. This is the bar that helps stabilize the camper back and forth. This is stored here and down here. When we take it off, this actually goes into the front stable leg, and then we tie it into the same mounting bracket that you use your fast guns on. All right, so we have it partially down. The stable camper pieces are on it. So we have one of these on each of the sides, and then the two stable camper pieces on the front. Next, we check the levelness of the camper left and right. And from the back, we're almost level. I think I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Almost level. That's pretty good. Now we're going to get it level front to back. This is where we're going to have to do a bit more work. That looks pretty good. Then I do all 4 lower. And this is where I'll watch the stair, because obviously I don't want to go below that. To me, it looks like I'll probably hit the stair before I'll hit bottom on any of the stabilizer legs. So I think I'll just watch that. Usually we're able to get much further down on the stable legs. I think we might do that. Because this is a windy area, we do tend to like to get this thing down as low as she can go. I'm going to stop there. And these back 2 are the ones that are as close as we can.